Gotta love
You're
the intro.
live. You're live, it says.
We are live, and that we're still gonna have awkward moments. I can see them right there.
Oh, excellent.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Excellent. Come on, phone, give me my notification. Or don't.
Well,
And I'll find it myself. Fine.
Hello everyone.
Hi, Internet.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, and I am joined once again. Oh, I'm gonna move some stuff around because it's falling. By Jedi Jason Kruger.
Hi.
And boy, with the last couple weeks of SmackDown just ending and us thinking, oh, we got nothing to fucking talk about, we got some stuff to talk about this week.
It's a busy week this week.
But if you've never seen this show before, this is the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. Jedi and I have been watching wrestling together for over 15 years. We love wrestling. We love talking wrestling with other passionate wrestling fans like you, the viewers. However, we're not insiders. We're fans, just like each and every one of you. We're not in the business. We try to avoid using insider terms because, at the end of the day, we're fans. We're just two marks.
Right.
But, I've been running a contest. I guess we'll just go ahead. We'll start with AEW this week.
Sure, why not?
We'll start with AEW because, well, the last few weeks I ran a kind of bracketology, contest, like in the March Madness and whatnot for the AEW Tag Team Tournament, and it was looking like we were going to have a tie and have to draw the winner. Oh, we got some chatters. What we got here?
Working on it.
SCU! Yes, we're getting there. I thought we was going to draw a name out of the hat because a lot of people were picking the Lucha Bros, and with the way the points were, if enough people picked Lucha Bros, that there'd be a multiple tie, and we'd have to pick a name out of a hat.
Gotcha.
There was one gentleman who entered on the Facebook page named Ryan Davey, who picked SCU to win it all, and by virtue of doing so, he got enough points to beat everybody else that entered. Thank you, everyone, for playing, but Ryan Davey...
It was a heck of a tournament.
A private party, and, even to a certain extent, the Lucha Bros busted a lot of brackets, because you got a lot of people thinking Bucks or
it didn't help
Jurassic
Luchasaurus got injured.
Yeah, it didn't help Luchasaurus got injured.
You can't predict those things.
But, those were two big, even though the Lucha Bros were still, a favorite tag team, a lot of brackets were put to an end because of the end of the Jurassic Express and private party. So, Ryan, in your honor, since I drank earlier in the week because I got a little busy, the bubbly that I had saved, instead I just crack one open and salute you. And without any...
Fizzy.
It is fizzy. And so we got some more channel.
We're going to make that one.
All right. Turn.
You are correct. They did. Yeah. SmackDown sounded interesting from what I gleaned.
Oh, yeah. I think they will eventually. They're getting more screen time on Being the Elite. I wish I should be drinking White Claw, but I thought, for this occasion, I'll drink a beer, even a beer like Michelob Ultra. So
Private Party, they're still
they're still pretty young. They will be tag team champions in a year. I say a year, not even a couple. 1 year. They may even get it by
Summer.
All Out 2. Yeah.
Summer. Yeah.
But to Ryan, I don't know if you're watching right now, but I know you will eventually.
It's all right.
Yeah, Jedi. I don't want to say straight edge, but just maybe not. That doesn't partake as much in the alcohol as much as I do. I live off the shit. I met some of you guys while drinking. So I know he's got his contact information to me, so he'll be getting these prizes. The first thing he'll be getting is this here $25 Hulu gift card. That's just kind of the working prize right now. That's kind of the big one. But we also have a book full of comics and a book full of action figures, and he'll be getting a random one of each. Jedi, if you will. Give you a little bit of a drum roll, please.
They box.
Let's be for the comic book.
Coming.
All right.
got? What we got?
We have. You will be getting this issue of Rocket Raccoon and Groot #2. So, all right, that's a good book. It's a really good run. So that will be going your way, and in the figures.
Action figures. What did I grab out of here?
Al Snow. So yes.
You couldn't get more random than the grabbing I did.
Ryan Davey, this is your prize pack, my friend. This issue of Rocket Raccoon and Groot, and an Al Snow action figure, and a Hulu Plus gift card. This is all yours, my friend. It will be in the mail probably by Monday. So yeah, enjoy the comic and enjoy the figure and enjoy a couple months of Hulu Plus on me.
That's right. What does everybody want? What does everybody need? Hulu.
And Groot.
And Groot.
And Groot.
I am Groot.
So yes, this will not be our last giveaway. We will be.
We have more.
We have more, and I believe I'm going to start doing giveaways with AEW pay-per-views and takeovers. So doing like kind of a predictions thing, and I don't know. I want to do one. I will officially announce it on the social. So it's even more important that not only you subscribe, but you go follow me on Twitter, go follow me on Instagram, go like my Facebook page. I'll be announcing contests of that sort here. There's only a few matches announced for Full Gear, so I don't know if we'll wait till next week on the show to announce it, or wait till after Dynamite next week to announce something like that. But
fair enough. See if they
definitely want to do that again. And I got plenty more comics and figures to give away. So here's to you. But other than that big news, Dynamite was really, really good this week. The opener with Hangman Page and Sammy Guevara was superb. I feel that I did really enjoy the Undertale entrance with Kenny Omega, kind of with the Ibushi reference and the evil thing, the kind of the evil bad guy in Undertale being a New Japan Lion Mark. I thought that was. I think it's kind of a subtle shot that maybe Kenny Omega does not quite see eye to eye with certain people in New Japan Pro Wrestling, perhaps. And yeah, he had a good little 6-man tag there. Now I'm not the biggest Jack Evans fan in the world, but it was a good little 6-man tag. And the only thing that I didn't really like, I thought the contract signing with Cody and Jericho was well done, with how it led to an ambush on Dustin. I also like how Jake Hager kneed him in the nuts, he got disqualified in his MMA fight. That might end up, hey, you take something unfortunate that happened, which led to him not getting a win in his MMA career, and turning it into,
a finishing maneuver.
Turning into a finishing maneuver for his wrestling career. Hey, that's good. And then
Santana and Ortiz attacked the Rock and Roll Express.
Yes,
because they're nasty.
Yes, if they didn't put Ricky Morton through the stage, I'd really be wondering if we were going to get maybe the Bucks and Rock and Roll versus some of the Inner Circle next week.
I see what you mean.
Ortiz, Santana, Sammy, and Hager had to do a big 8-man tag for Dynamite next week, but I kind of have a hard time believing they're going to bring Ricky Morton back out, even if they are in Charlotte, which is, basically old school territory for Rock and Roll Express. I don't see them putting him back out there, but still,
kill the. It would soften the blow.
Well, he could come out.
Recovered a week.
He could come out saying he was hurt.
Yeah.
And then could also protect the Bucks and have the Rock and Roll Express eat the pinfall on that.
True.
So there you go. I thought Dynamite was really well done. NXT was okay. I may be in the minority here. I kind of thought that Finn Balor's interview kind of explaining why he went to the dark side was a little... There were some good things in it, don't get me wrong. Like, if you mess with me, you're going to go from... I thought the line, you're going to go from Johnny Wrestling to Johnny Watches Wrestling was well done. Everything else kind of felt a little too inside.
I heard that as well from some... Yeah.
I felt like it was kind of like too... Pardon the term, smarky.
I mean... We're all on the internet
but
right now.
We are, but on the flip side, like, there are times when it works, there are times when it doesn't work. This felt like it didn't work. Like, when he's like, I'm laying down for the Fiend, it's like, okay, I kind of can see that being his frustration, but then, like, certain other things were kind of breaking the fourth wall, but not in a good way.
Right.
My opinion.
Right.
You can say I'm wrong, you can say whatever you want, but that's just my opinion.
Crowd was quiet for what, NXT? AEW.
Which of the many shows?
We just kind of started running through it. So elaborate for us there. Io versus Candice, always good.
Good to see you, Candice.
Mm-hmm.
I think other than
we got to at least mention that the women's tag team championships were defended on NXT.
Yeah.
So that happened, and Tegan Nox did not get crippled. So
yeah,
that's a plus.
Jedi, I'm going to ask you to scoot your chair up a little bit before we have another superstar shakeout. Sorry, guys, but you never know what's going to happen with these things.
No.
I need to move Seth Rollins to the back because he's being a dick.
Just like the WWE Universe, it's unpredictable.
Speaking of unpredictable, we're going to break a rule that I don't think we're really going to get into too much detail on Raw. Like, really not a whole hell of a lot happened. And it even came from our...
Rusev's still in a horrible storyline.
Yeah. To give you an idea, I didn't even go to Raw.
And it was very close.
And it was in our area. I did not care to go. But, hey Jedi, we got a message on our screen. Is everything okay?
No.
Yeah, you're closer. That's why I'm asking you, and I don't want to scare off our one viewer. I don't like NXT using main roster chat.
No, it's just telling us about a new feature.
Okay, I've gone into detail on this in the past. I don't either. I like it from the perspective of, hey, Finn Balor's getting used better. Hey, I'm going to get to see some good matches. But I agree, from a story perspective, it doesn't make any sense. It'd be the equivalent of Yadier Molina going, yeah, I've won the World Series, with the Cardinals, but I think I'm going to go down to the Memphis Redbirds and try and bring home the minor league championship. Or it'd be the equivalent of, Aaron Rodgers saying, like, hey, you know what, I've done a great job here in the NFL, but let's give the XFL a shot.
Oh, Sin Cara brought out a new ballet, and it didn't help. He still lost it.
Stream was fine. All right, thanks, Eric.
And that was about it. Oh, Becky Lynch and Kairi Sane had a decent match. That was Raw.
There's good stuff. It was good stuff, like, what do you talk about?
So, like you said, breaking our rule.
Our rule is that we weren't going to talk about
the glorified house shows that happen in the Middle East.
Funded by blood money.
Yes.
But we kind of don't have a choice in this.
Unfortunately, this is one of those rare times where a house show actually had something happen.
Big happen!
Canonical value.
The Fiend is the Universal Champion.
On Halloween, no less.
Yes.
I mean, at least.
I mean, I'm glad he's the champion because it's one of those, like, fuck yeah, strike while the iron's hot. Seth was not... Full disclosure, I'm a Seth Rollins fan. I know I need to put a bag over my head when I say that because he has made a complete, total ass out of himself since he's won the title. There's no defending some of the bullshit that he has said, especially about Jon Moxley. The Will Ospreay stuff, other than the bank account stuff, part of that was also Ospreay being a complete and total ass too, going, hey, nobody can how dare anybody say anybody that Will Ospreay's the best? I'm Will Ospreay, not the best. Because that's kind of how that all got started. Was Will Ospreay was also a prick. It's just Seth Rollins and his tiny prick decided to become the bigger prick overall. He was failing as world champion. He's failing as the face of the company. Much like his Shield brother, he's not the guy. They want you to think he's the guy, but he's not the guy. So it was a good idea to, in my opinion, get that title off of him, and now let's just have a monster villain until we can figure out who can challenge this monster villain for WrestleMania. I would say Demon King Finn, but he decided to check himself down to the minor leagues. Now, could this lead to a storyline where Finn refines himself in NXT and possibly comes back to WrestleMania for The Fiend?
Not very many months to get that done in.
And I don't have... And despite having, one, making the right call on a Saudi show, no less, and what we're going to talk about with Smackdown, I still don't have the faith in WWE to necessarily pull that off without fucking it up.
Right.
Remember the Gin Blossoms line from Hey Jealousy I mentioned last week. If you don't expect too much from me, you might not be let down.
I wonder this year with the Royal Rumble if it's not going to be 10 NXT, 10 SmackDown, and 10 Raw.
I mean, I would not have a problem with
30
that.
people. I mean, you'd have more high-profile people in there with 10 apiece
instead
of your
just imagine
Zack Ryders,
Just imagine, if Finn is an NXT guy, were to enter the Royal Rumble and win it, and kind of, have it would be it would be interesting if they were to kind of have him be villain on NXT, but be heroic on SmackDown or Raw.
Right.
Like, I don't know if that could be pulled off or not.
I don't know now the way they've blended them. Kabuki Warriors doesn't really count. They said a long time ago they were going to be defending the titles across all three brands.
Right.
I mean, they were on Raw on Monday and then on NXT on Wednesday.
I like Seth Rollins, and Jedi can attest. He was a real nice guy to us and our friends whenever we would meet him back when he was Tyler Black.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, he seemed fine back then.
Yeah, maybe he is fine. He might be fine to his friend or to his fans, and maybe just not so fine. Obviously, there's got to be something we're not seeing because he gets to go home to Becky every night, so...
I think it's just...
Me and some other... We're going to put the children to bed before you hear this. Me and some other friends, Charles in Charge and Lunatic Bebe and all that other good stuff. We all make the joke that the only reason he's with Becky is because he takes the strap well. That's our joke. That's our running inside joke. So I mentioned that online. You're welcome, everybody. Think of that while you try to sleep tonight. But yes, that's our joke about why a woman like Becky could possibly be with Seth Rollins. But, it's just, he's failed.
You're fine. Think about that while you try to sleep tonight. I was just going to add, if that's what you're into. Anyway.
But he's, and I'll admit, was it worth the chance? Yes. Was he popular enough to get the chance? Yes. Was it the right call at WrestleMania? Yes. But sometimes it just don't work out, and Seth Rollins has failed on every conceivable level. He's failed as a draw.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily his fault he failed his stories. He was written like complete trash. But he's failed at kind of, other than just sucking Vince McMahon's dick and sucking the company's dick, he's completely failed as a, how he carries himself. For all the grief I gave Roman, and I stand by the fact, I think Roman Reigns is the top hero of the company is bad. I think Roman sucks in that role. I think as a heroic wrestler, he sucks. And he did take some unnecessary pot shots at the Bullet Club and the Elite whenever they were kind of just beginning to rise and they were invading. He didn't go kind of, take it to 11 like Seth did, but he did take pot shots. He did kind of maintain a better public image than Seth did. And with Seth, it was mainly it was him talking shit on his friends.
Yeah.
Fuck John Moxley, he's taking food off my table. It's like, no, he's not, Seth.
Right. It's like, take a breath, brother. You're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, I still think
under the pressure.
Yeah,
being the top guy. You know.
Yeah. It very much reminds me of 1996 Shawn Michaels, where Shawn was. But to Shawn's credit, though, it was basically all bad booking and the competition just having the hot hand, and there was nothing, despite his best efforts, he could do. Mm-hmm. Because he was being marketed with a children's company compared to an adult company.
Right.
So
I wouldn't give him a complete free pass in those years, considering what he was doing back then.
No, but I'm saying like in terms of if when the NWO would have started, they would have immediately fired back with DX Shawn. He probably would have had a little bit more momentum behind him. Yeah. But instead, it was was. I'm gonna give 110% to all the good fans out there. My clique. And I was watching him. I was a kid at that time. It appealed to me, but like going now, other than the matches, it was while he was better in the ring than Hogan, you had Hogan turning villain for the first time since the '80s. It's not a good hand, right. But yeah.
Earlier, Eric asked who can beat the Fiend if he's unstoppable. I mean, I'm not trying to be that guy, but his name is John Cena.
Woo!
Thankfully, he's off shooting movies, so that probably won't happen.
Thankfully, we can't see him.
Yeah. That's how it went. I see.
See how there? See that? You see that?
I did. So yeah, Saudi show happened.
That's the only thing we're talking about. I mean, there's other than all the guys being stranded. There's nothing else worth talking about. I mean,
Lesnar beat Velasquez.
Yeah,
I got on his private jet with the legends and made it back and didn't get stranded because
I'm not trying to throw out conspiracy theories, but they have a women's match and they get stranded.
Right.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying anything.
I guess that should be noted. They did have the women's match. I mean, kudos.
It was probably other than. I mean, I know your wife does not like Natalya.
Natalya and Lacey.
Natalya's great. Mm-hmm. Natalya is amazing. Lacey needs to go back to. Doesn't even need to be featured on NXT TV. She needs to go back to fucking training class, and learn how to not be a fuck up in the ring. Right? She's better than me. I'll concede that. Before some butthurt fan gets on there and goes, well, she's better than you. You're not even taking a bump in the ring. And like, yes, she's taken a bump. She's done all everything. She's a wrestler and I'm not, so she will forever be one up on me. However, she's hurt too many people. She's fucked up too many things. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you for your service, Lacey. Right. But there's probably a lot of former military that aren't playing good football right now that I would criticize. Or a lot of other former military that are wrestling right now that I don't care for.
I work with the guy that's former Air Force.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Anyway.
I need another one of these. It's more fun when I'm drinking.
Fair. So yeah, the Saudi Arabia thing happened, and a bunch of people got stranded.
Yeah.
So Smackdown had to kind of do an emergency procedure.
It reminds me, before we get too deep into SmackDown, there was, back in 2010, I can't remember what country they're in off the top of my head. I mean, this was almost 10 years ago. But the Raw crew, with the exception of like Triple H, there was that big volcano eruption, so they were stuck wherever they were for Raw. So they kind of had to just pull from SmackDown, except for Triple H, and they just kind of like got whoever they could to be on Raw that week. They brought the SmackDown roster over except for Triple H. They brought Lillian Garcia back for that night, which I thought like, oh, like get her on speed dial. It was just kind of like all they had all their emergency contacts in the SmackDown roster. They had Taker, but yeah, it's very reminiscent.
Right.
SmackDown was very reminiscent of that this week. Only difference is SmackDown
NXT
was a better show because they had NXT and some drink, and they seemed to set a storyline in motion. Whereas Raw was just kind of like, let's have fun. They're not here.
Yep.
That time.
The main event was Daniel Bryan versus Adam Cole for the NXT Championship.
A match that has honestly that it actually never happened in Ring of Honor. Because after Bryan left, that's when Adam Cole came in.
It sounded like it was very, very back and forth with a lot of the near ends. And
you know what? I don't want more main roster guys going to NXT, but you know what? I think at this point, I could see Bryan going to NXT.
Right. Yeah, he was going to win it, but he lost.
Well, he's kind of going away from the I'm the Planet's Champion thing. Mm-hmm. He's no longer...
he's back to being a good guy. I mean...
Yeah. Oh, Eric. Jedi inedible. No, we're not going to do that. I don't do that sort of thing, and no, just Jedi. Did they abandon the Jedi? Just have everyone? They had whoever they had available. I mean, fuck, half the roster's in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they
okay, Eric, okay.
They had to... they had to basically bring in the NXT roster in emergency because they didn't have half.
With Daniel Bryan, I mean, he's no longer going to be the yes guy, even as a good guy. He's no longer the Planet's champion. Have him go to NXT. You could kind of do while I don't like it from the storyline perspective, and I stand by it, it would not be a bad idea if you're like, hey, you're experimenting with Finn Balor as a villain. Experiment with Daniel Bryan refining himself. Mm-hmm. Kind of have him go to NXT and be like, something, like I've done it all here in the WWE. I've main event WrestleMania. I've held every championship there is to hold. But there's one thing I never, and this was all on the back of a revolution that, you fans helped, and I appreciate that. But that still isn't exactly me. See, before I came here, I was the best wrestler in the world, you could kind of, I was tapping people out, I had nothing but just my ability, and I want to rediscover that here in NXT. And have him wrestle all these guys in NXT as the likable, cocky asshole that he was in Ring of Honor as the best wrestler in the world. He was pretty much I'm breaking a rule here, but what do you call it? I guess a neutral guy, and not trying to avoid the insider terms. Where when he'd wrestle Jimmy Rave and Alex Shelley, he'd be the
de facto good guy.
He'd be the de facto good guy, but when he'd wrestle, Nigel McGuinness in England, Nigel McGuinness in England, he was the villain, but Nigel McGuinness in America, he was the de facto hero. When he'd wrestle,
that's just the problem with being British. You're the villain when you're in America.
When he'd wrestle, Colt Cabana,
right?
He was
of course.
He was the villain when he wrestled.
For some reason, no one knows who Colt Cabana is. Just basically picture a more talented Santino Marella for comparison of charisma, if you will.
Scotty Goldman.
I mean, lovable. You had to get behind him. I mean, Bryan was going to be the villain in that. I mean, yeah. He can either be the neutral or the villain, and it's too easy to be nasty at Colt Cabana. So all I have to do is leer at him for a second and be like, "Oh, you're bad."
Yeah. So having him kind of rediscover that in NXT, possibly the feud that made him turn villain in Ring of Honor to begin with was Roderick Strong. Mm-hmm. For some reason, he kind of did Roderick Strong kind of dirty, and that's kind of what turned him from the lovable hero that finally got the title to kind of a sadistic guy that would beat the ever-loving shit out of someone in order to keep his title. And hey, if they're gonna do this sort of thing, that wouldn't be a bad way to do it. He's lost in the shuffle. I was having this discussion with everybody, beforehand, who could carry the company right now. And I said, well, there's 3 guys I think that could. 2 were cemented firmly in the mid-card. I don't know any other way to put it. And 1 guy willingly took himself to developmental again. AJ Styles is firmly in the mid-card. Those dreams of grandeur of him main event at WrestleMania this year are gone. Daniel Bryan's the other one, and Finn Balor's the other one. Who do you think should get a shot since Seth failed?
Yeah.
Those 3 guys.
Yeah. Roman, the 3 guys who had a good match with Brock Lesnar in the last 4 years. Shock.
Yeah. Well, there was a 4th, but he failed. Seth Rollins had a good match with Brock Lesnar.
I know. Well, we established that, so that's why I wasn't thrilled. But yeah, I know.
Colt Cabana has a great name. Yeah?
It's true. So, let's
Spill my beer on myself. Gosh darn it.
A few other things happened on SmackDown, too. But
basically, after that main event...
Oh, no. After that main event, after Adam Cole won, basically all the NXT locker room poured out to celebrate, and Triple H was with them and basically challenged Raw and SmackDown this year's Survivor Series. So it'll be the yellow brand versus red and blue.
And...
Which is...
You know what should happen with that? What should happen is... I
barely processed it.
The NXT should win.
Oh, yeah.
Because even though they might hate each other, we are NXT. Where Raw and SmackDown have a rivalry and don't like one another. That's how that whole thing should be booked.
Not to mention who's running head to head against AEW.
Yeah,
NXT
exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what's probably gonna fucking happen?
Oh, don't even.
Somebody's gonna
complete shutout like the last.
A complete shutout. Somebody's gonna fucking Johnny Gargano's gonna get curb stomped. Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole are gonna get big dogged. And that's what's going to happen.
I mean...
It wouldn't surprise me if NXT eliminates everybody, and then big dog, big dog, big dog, big dog, big dog. And he big dogs all of them for the Roman Reigns shutout.
I wouldn't count on it, but I'm not too sure.
I hope he does too. I'm not holding my breath.
Right.
This was the time that was best for him to headline WrestleMania. Hell, it was the time for him to headline fucking WrestleMania was 2 fucking years ago. That match at the Royal Rumble, 2017 with John Cena, should have happened at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I was pissed off.
Been a hell of a lot better than what the hell we got with Wyatt and Orton that year.
And Undertaker and Roman.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I came
when my brother goes out of his way to say that was bad, that was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, John, he doesn't make...
John doesn't have bad things to say about wrestlers. Because John's very much they're better than me.
Yep.
And
even he was like, wow, that was bad.
But, yeah, I remember, coming unglued watching that match because I said, I have no problem with Cena tying the record. I have no problem with Cena winning the title. Do it at WrestleMania.
Right.
Don't do it at fucking this, especially when Cena loses the belt 2 weeks later. Fuck.
Yeah.
You tie Ric Flair and that's the reign?
On the
Jesus.
Flip side, on the flip side, wouldn't it have been nice to say, look at Bray Wyatt. He won, his first championship after defeating both AJ and John Cena in rapid succession at Elimination Chamber. Does anybody remember that?
No.
Does anybody remember cockroaches at WrestleMania? Unfortunately, yes, we do.
His match with Nakamura wasn't very good because, I hate to say it, Shinsuke's
coasting.
Shinsuke, I think, has realized after NXT that he's done his best. His best work is behind him. So rather than be the guy he was in New Japan and NXT, he knows that he's only got a little bit of time left to make some big money.
Mm-hmm.
Coast that shit out, make this big money, take the small pay cut to be a...
He literally said he's had more time to do his surfing than he did when he was working in New Japan.
Yeah. So...
He's just chilling.
but I mentioned this on the show before. You know what's funny about AJ Styles? When you say dream match with... this match is a dream match, it's never lived up to expectations. With the exception of Balor.
Yes.
And TLC last year with Bryan.
Yeah, Bryan, yeah.
All of his matches were like, oh, this should be the best thing ever. Has failed to live up to expectations.
Right, I agree.
But with AJ, you know what matches have exceeded expectations? Shane
McMahon.
Randy Orton. Brock Lesnar. John Cena.
Yep.
John Cena. Both those John Cena matches should have been 5 stars. You can fight me. All the internet people that think that John Cena is not worthy of 5-star matches when Kazuchika Okada exists. Both those matches should have been SummerSlam and Royal Rumble. Money in the Bank, yes, you're right. It shouldn't have been. But SummerSlam, at least SummerSlam, maybe Royal Rumble too, both should have been 5 stars. Right. They're 5 stars in the Athletic Geeks Play, rating book, and y'all can fight me.
I mean, if you hate him so much, you can't.
There's my one being an absolute dick for the show.
I know. I agree. But I mean,
yeah, that
wasn't the way it was.
That was. But let's be honest. Do you think that match was ever going to live up to the Wrestle Kingdom match?
No.
No,
of course not. No.
And then the thing was, it wasn't a bad match. It was just kind of it just kind of ended.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of I remember just kind of watching it at home, being like, "Oh, it's
over." The
only
memorable part of it was Nakamura turning villain.
Yeah, AJ versus James Ellsworth. James Ellsworth needs to be in prison. So, and that's all I want to say on James Ellsworth.
What is it with
You're guilty. You're guilty until proven innocent. So, I mean, if he is innocent, then my fucking bad. But if the accusations are true, he needs to be in prison and he needs to fucking rot there. There you go. And that's my final word on the matter. We're not going to talk anymore about that dude.
Or Real One. Or whatever the hell he's going by these days. So, let's see.
Shayna Baszler just showed up? That's what I've been calling for how many months have I been saying? Boy, Shayna Baszler needs to be here.
Mm-hmm.
How long have I been talking about that?
Every major pay-per-view.
Yeah. You know what? Shayna Baszler should be in the club. You know what? Shayna Baszler should be. And never... I mean, I guess I should be happy because after they fucked up Asuka, at least, it's the Billy Madison. No, you don't. Stay here where it is safe. But it's just... I mean...
Still too fresh. I literally got some of the results of SmackDown earlier when it was going on, and now can't remember everything that happened, unfortunately.
Shayna Baszler attacked Bayley after a match with Nikki Cross. Good match.
Yeah.
Good surprise. If WWE were smart, famous last words there, they would run with this NXT invasion.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that all of us have been clamoring for years. They would run with this to WrestleMania. They would truly make this an invasion thing. You want to get more eyeballs on the show? You want to beat AEW in the ratings?
Right.
Have an invasion and then have the top stars show up on AEW in retaliation.
Yeah.
Have AJ, have Roman, have all these guys show up on NXT going, oh, you want to come to our house? Look at you guys at your university.
Right.
Roll with this. Roll with this to fucking Mania. You got from fucking King of the Ring to Survivor Series with a garbage invasion.
Mm-hmm.
Why not take it from Survivor Series to WrestleMania, WrestleMania could be like a 2-night affair with fucking Takeover and Mania itself.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to encompass every single feud
right.
like the failed invasion with WCW did. But fucking roll with this. Fucking have, like, we're tired of you fucking Seth's calling AEW the minor leagues. Use that.
Mm-hmm.
Use that. Have some villains on Raw go like, I can't believe the minor leagues are thinking they're on our level.
Right.
Oh God, what is it like? I'm hearing, you want to come and take my TV time on Raw? I'm back here. I'm here at this Full Sail. What? I'm used to big buildings with, I'm used to professional athlete stadiums and
we actually travel.
New city every night. What the fuck is this garbage?
Right.
Use that. Have different matches, and
it would make things more unpredictable and interesting. Because right now, I mean.
Because, like AEW has the hot hand because even though, yes, Finn Balor, yes, there is great wrestling on NXT. Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes, you got a main star in Finn Balor on NXT, but there's Finn Balor, there's Chris Jericho.
Well, I mean.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking Finn Balor whatsoever, but it's like, in the eyes of the casual fan, they're seeing AEW in a bigger building. And they're seeing AEW, which is being considered, is already coming out of the gate, guns blazing. They see Cody Rhodes, they see Chris Jericho, and they're seeing these people they're familiar with that they know at least are may not, other than with the exception of Jericho, and I'm not knocking any AEW talent. Half of them are on this wall back here. Top names, or at least names, and then they're seeing what they very well are aware of is.
I mean,
a farm league.
Like, I get what you're saying, but they've been doing the Raw versus SmackDown thing for years. I mean, they can't insult our intelligence anymore, and at least you could kind of craft a semi-real rivalry between the promotional,
But it turns into, like, you're insulting your own, but it's kind of like the pick your side.
Mm-hmm.
Pick your side. It's similar to, you know what?
There's no denying that NXT and Raw and SmackDown are different formats slightly.
Gonna go back there. It's like when the NWO invaded WCW. The end game eventually, Scott Hall said this, Kevin Nash has said this. They wanted to create such a brand within the brand. They wanted to ask their fans to go, are you with WCW or are you with the NWO?
Mm-hmm.
So that way the fans wouldn't be thinking WCW or the WWF.
Right.
If you can go, are you with Raw and SmackDown or are you with NXT? That way their fans wouldn't be going, are you with WWE or AEW? Are you with Raw and SmackDown or are you with NXT?
Same trick attempted again.
On
the other side. Interesting.
I mean...
Interesting that they would take that playbook considering they beat the competition.
Bravo! That's you! I mean, it is... I mean, I'm not saying it's going to work, but I mean, you keep kind of a little bit of an invasion with NXT guys...
The Nintendo Switch 3DS one. That's funny. I mean, I almost feel like Nintendo marketing does do that to the 3DS owners at this point, but I see what you're saying. It's just that's funny.
The NXT guys showing up and getting wins over these guys, and invading and taking TV time away from top guys, and then have the top guys invade back and go like, I'm going to come to this fucking. AJ Styles or Rollins or Roman. Let Roman work on his villain character in NXT.
Yeah.
It'd
be funny to see Styles come there because he's one of the few that jumped past it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
you know why? AJ. Yeah, you know why I didn't come here because I'm better than this fucking place.
He's got ammunition and spades.
Do
something there.
They're afraid to make Roman a villain to the masses. Let him experiment with it on the rival show, and go there's a. I don't need to be on this garbage anymore. I'm main event WrestleMania, and you want to come take my time? Screw you guys. And then you can have...
Come into my yard.
And then, you can have some of the NXT loyalists. You have Gargano, Ciampa, Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream and AJ.
Velveteen Dream, yeah.
Velveteen Dream and AJ, especially, with...
Ooh, just their promos would be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
They're talking back and forth. They're back and forth. Trying to avoid terms here. Yeah. Their verbal back and forth would be just as entertaining as their in-ring.
But you know what the downside is? We're coming up with all these good ideas. None of them are going to fucking happen.
I mean,
none of them are going to fucking happen. I
saw Hell in a Cell this year. So.
Yeah. Nothing is going to happen. Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing has happened. Probably, like I said, they're all going to get big dogged, and then he's going to come out there going like, I guess the minor leagues want no match for the real big dog stars here on the big dogs. And then you're going to have like Seth Rollins going,
here's the question. If they're doing SmackDown and Raw versus NXT, how is that going to look? Are they doing classic Survivor Series style matches? Are they doing champion versus champion?
The rumor is Balor reuniting the Bullet Club.
Are they doing
AJ
champion?
Be part of it with the club, or you think they would all turn on him when AJ? I don't know if he would be or not. I think it'd probably set up a... If they do turn on him, they'd probably just set up a program for WrestleMania for the U.S. title.
If Balor stays in NXT, I do not think AJ will be part of it, no. In fact, I feel like Balor will probably assemble a new team from the NXT talent rather than grabbing Gallows or Anderson or whatever. That's just my... That's my opinion. Shoot. Had a brain blank there.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway.
It sucks doing the show this late.
Well, at least I'm not dying of exhaustion this week. Last week was awful. I was sitting here like one eye open.
Well, at least I don't have the flu and bronchitis.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, exactly.
Doing the show over the phone.
Yep. October, man.
November now.
Yeah, no, I was talking about before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're past that now. We're all right. So in a nutshell, unless anybody else saw something on SmackDown or has anything else, that's about all I got right now. I guess next week we'll be doing predictions for Full Gear.
Full Gear That'll
be happening literally the day after we do the show.
Yep.
So thankfully we'll have just about as up-to-date news as we can on that match
we
card.
Might, we might even... We'll play it by ear.
When is War Games? Is that next? Because I know they're having a women's War Games this year.
Yes, there is a women's War Games.
And then I guess they're going to roll right into Survivor Series where they're fighting against Raw and SmackDown, so...
So stay tuned if we... Stay tuned if they make more matches. If they make more matches official. If they don't, we'll figure out a way to do the predictions giveaway for Full Gear.
I kind of disagree that the club could easily switch to NXT right now because Styles has so much TV time on Raw. Like what
and
he
is U.S. champion. I mean, I know that mid-card belts.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing that happened on SmackDown. Brock Lesnar quit.
Yeah,
because The Fiend is on SmackDown and has the Universal Championship, which probably means the red belt is going to be the Blue Brand's championship, and Brock Lesnar is going to turn back up on Raw with the WWE title because he's still WWE champion. So he quit SmackDown so he can show up on Raw. Yeah, that happened.
Remember? I forgot about
the
that.
Raspberry red belt.
You'll
never know. The Fiend comes out in red lights and they just stay on.
Yeah, exactly.
So you'll never know the difference.
When all that was going on, just
by the way, that is so stupid. Why are we still doing red lights anyway?
Trying to explain that. Do you remember the SpongeBob episode where, Patrick had a secret box?
Yes.
And SpongeBob was explaining, secretly sharing the secret so you could secretly know each other had the secret secretly. And then you had Patrick's sparks going over Patrick's head. That's how I felt just a minute ago.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
some context.
That's fair. Yeah.
And that's how we're ending this one, folks. Appreciate you all coming to the live show. Congratulations again to Ryan Davey. It said Monday, I don't think I'll be able to get to the post office tomorrow. You will be the proud owner of this Al Snow action figure, this issue of Rocket Raccoon and Groot, and of course the $25 Hulu card. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks everybody for playing the AEW Tag Tournament bracket game.
It was fun.
Be sure to follow me on Twitter at athletic_geek89. Follow me on Instagram at athleticgeek89 and go like my Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89. If you enjoyed this video and like to see others, please subscribe. Give this video a like, share it. We have content not just from pro wrestling, but from comic books, video games, anime, and all things geek culture. Jedi does not have social media because he's got 2 daughters. That's right. And doesn't have time for that shit. But, you want to send him a message. Oh, drop the phone. If you want to send him a message on my social media, he'll definitely see it. But for Jedi Jason Kruger, I am the Athletic Geek. We are just 2 marks. We're out. Have a good one.